What's up guys? So today I'll be doing a Valorant tutorial. I'm pretty new to Valorant, but I've had a little bit of CSGO experience, and I think some things do carry over. So if you've never played Counter-Strike or you're new to the game, definitely try to keep some of these tips in mind because this game is not the same as your regular FPS like Call of Duty or some other games like that. So the first tip is going to be don't run and shoot. You hear a lot of people say this and preach this, but I mean it's true. So let's say I just try to like tap the center of this target while I'm moving back and forth. You see the shots are just all over the place. Not precise whatsoever. Versus if I play this, if I just tap and shoot, I can have all my shots dead center every time. Just like that. So there are a couple of ways to stay mobile and still shoot. The first method is something that definitely carried over from Counter-Strike. They called it stutter step shooting, I believe. But what you do is, while you're using your A and D keys to move left and right, you would stop and shoot, kind of like that. You'd have to adjust your crosshair, of course, because you're moving left and right. Could be back and forth too, but what this does is you're able to strafe left and right and still take accurate shots. So you'll be moving target while you still take relatively accurate shots. That's a pretty good way of shooting. Now the second method is while holding down crouch, your shots will still be accurate. So if you just crouching and shooting, crouching and tapping like this, as long as my aim is good, yep, I should still be able to hit center every time, even when I'm crouching and moving. And the third method, is to walk and shoot. Walking and shooting, I don't think it worked in Counter-Strike, but it is actually still pretty accurate. If you're walking like back and forth, you can still shoot the target relatively accurately. And you can still stay pretty mobile, because walking is not as slow as crouching, but obviously not as fast as if you were to, walk or run normally. So the second tip is gonna be learn your gun's recoil. I'm gonna focus on the Vandal, but you should either focus on the Phantom or Vandal. These are the two most used guns. But just remember that like all different guns will have different recoil patterns. So just something you'll want to just get a little familiar with if you do use that gun often. So for the Vandal, let's say, right? I'm just gonna press and hold to shoot. You see it's like roughly the first 10 shots will just go straight up. Yeah, just about, right? And then the rest will just sway left and right. So to counteract the recoil, you just move the direction opposite of where your gun goes. So for the first 10 shots, you would just start in the center, and then I think the first 3 shots are accurate, so yeah. First 3 shots, you don't really have to go anywhere, and then after that, you have to start dragging down. I think it grows exponentially kind of too, but first 10 shots, first 3 don't move, and then next 7 drag down. So if you can do something like that for your first 10 shots, that'll already be pretty good. But the goal is to get as many shots at headshot level, right? Because if you can get all the shots at around headshot, you'll have a lot of damage potential. And for the Vandal, it is a one-shot headshot. That's what makes it different from the Phantom. So if you can get like 10 shots on the head, that'll be very good to start off. So after the first 10 shots, you see that the gun and the cursor moves left and right, depending on which way it decides to go. So right here be left, right. So it just went left and right. You can see my crosshair goes a little left and right afterwards too. And the gun points a little that way too. So when you see it go left to right, you're supposed to counteract that direction with the left and right too. So I'm gonna try to spray everything into the center. So that was a decent spray. So that was a full clip spray, but I say try not to use it that often. Only use it when people are very close or there are a lot of enemies and you're forced to do it. But I say default, you should probably just you can hit practice and just work on like your one taps or like a 1 to 3 shot bursts. Like Vandal has the one shot potential, so you could just like come here and shoot these bots. Or you could do like 2 or even 3, since we did say like the third shot is pretty accurate. So like 1 and 2, 3, 3. Like it's all about the same height level, so maybe just do a couple taps on the heads. This will be very efficient for killing enemies. And a quick reminder when you're doing these taps is you can't tap too fast, so let's just go back here real quick. And so let's say like you see me tap just like this, all the shots are just dead center, but let's say you're tapping a little too fast, right? And you'll see that it eventually goes to like your regular spray pattern. So if you tap too fast, it will start going up. So just control how fast you tap. If you are gonna tap shoot, then just make sure you just keep it at a relative pace where your recoil will reset. You can also do like 3 taps too, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You just gotta make sure like you reset your recoil. So let's say like I'm doing it too fast, right? It slowly becomes the spray pattern as well. You practice on this guy too. Once it goes above, that means your taps are too fast. So just adjust for the timing. So this brings us to our next tip, which is crosshair placement. I've seen a lot of newer players do just like they just look at the ground or something, or it's like when you're entering this like entering the practice range order, you're just aiming like this. When it's like, why not just aim at like the head level? If you know how like the layout of the map works or whatever, it's like, why don't you just aim at head level first? So you could like come up here and you just start shooting them immediately. Because if you're aiming here, it's like, it doesn't really help you. You'll get leg shots or body shots, and they just don't do as much damage. Whereas if you're just aiming at the head immediately, you just get 1 taps and just be a lot more efficient with the kills. So your crosshair should always be at headshot level. So even like when you're like walking around, right? You don't want to be like looking at the ground. It's like, alright, I'm leaving that hallway, entering this one. It's like if you just have your cursor on the ground, like you're gonna be slower to the guy who's like pointing at your head already. Let's say he's just over here and he's holding this corner, just waiting, headshot level. And once someone pops up, bang, he's dead. And you're just out here like looking at the ground, like, oh no, there he is. Like that's just much more inefficient. And you want to be like just faster. So like a better way would be like coming out this hallway, make sure you're like headshot level. This will be a lot better than, you know, doing this already, right? Let's see, same guy around that bench. Like if you're just walking there with your cursor at that level, you can shoot him or something like that. Yeah, this comes with map knowledge too, just because you need to know how the map works, like where things are and whatnot. So the same for if, let's say someone's up there at the staircase, right? And if that's like the first spot you want to look at, it's like you can position your crosshair like higher up too, so you can shoot him immediately. And this will go into the 4th tip that I have, which is just try to use cover, because in some other shooters you don't really even need cover. You just run out there and like, oh, let me just go gun blazing. It's like, no, if you don't have cover in this game, like this game, CSGO, like 1 shot can kill you. You can see how I'm like killing these bots with 1 shot on the head too. So try to use cover, and this kind of goes hand in hand with crosshair placement too. So it's like while you're in and out of cover, if you see someone and you just like, you're predicting where he is, you could put your crosshair there ahead of time. So when you pop out, you like just get a shot immediately. Like something like that. They also call it like was it jiggle peeking or whatever? So like you'll peek and shoot. You want to do that. So you'll expose very little of your body as you take a shot, and then you'll go back into cover immediately. So they have very little time to shoot you. Something like that. And this is why you want to use like the stutter stepping too. You could do walk too, but you'll walk in and out of cover a little slower. So I think stutter stepping in and out of cover is the move. Alright, that's gonna be it for this video, guys. You can use the shooting range built-in training to practice too. Easy is just actually just practicing your aim, because they spawn really slowly. Like you see, they just spawn. You have plenty of time to just shoot them. So make sure your crosshair at head level, and you'll just be moving left and right to shoot these guys. Yeah, just practice that. And if you want to practice your reaction too, medium to hard can be good, because they spawn and disappear really quickly too. So just try to like have your crosshair at the middle, still at head level, and just try to like snap left and right wherever they spawn. This can be pretty difficult actually. Yeah, this might be a time to like try to figure out like your mouse sensitivity and things too. It's something I haven't really figured out yet too, but yeah. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Let me know if you have questions too. Put it in the comments below. Peace.